Oh, Gabby doesn't know I'm back yet. Do you think he's gonna slip up behind me? I'm gonna surprise him. As soon as I see him, we'll whoop around on it. I'll be a full reduction in throttle, a notch of flaps, and I'm gonna pull probably low into the right. Go ahead and do it now. Reduction in throttle, flaps, a little bit of right rudder, increase in throttle to full. I'll cut across his nose, pull upwards, left rudder, full throttle. I've snapped it, full left, right rudder rather. I've got it back. Took out my flaps, no throttle, full throttle. He's in a Yak 3 now. I'm gonna whip it up, let him pull, save my E a little bit. Complete it. He's probably gonna go up. No, not down. Okay. Downward. So, let him drop down and away. He's gonna get away from me, so I'm gonna just pick back up. Cut across me. Pull with him. Give him a little twinkle there.
Good shot, windshield.
I thought it looked pretty good. Thank you, sir. He's about 300 or something. I'm not worried about it. I know.
Yeah, the leading edge of the cockpit.
Roger that.
Just behind the frame.
Okay, not too bad then. I saw you were coming across there and I thought, well, he should walk through that. I gave you a burst, about 25 rounds or so.
Well, I got hit with one, and I guess that's the only counts.
Yeah, typically. So I'm going to let him have his speed here. He's going to pull out and cross there, which is fine. He can have it. I'm going to go up with him. Kind of pull out across him here. If I use terms, just kind of follow along with me. I may not use terms. I'm trying to get the information to you, and it may not come across properly. But of course, if you have a problem, you go, hey, what the hell did you mean here? Just time reference it in the video and ask him about it. This is Yak 3. This is a standard fight for this aircraft. If you're flying something against something that's faster than you, that's better than you, it's got better guns, all the regular jazz. But luckily we're in the training arena, and you know, there's no one else going to attack me. So what he's doing is he's pulling out to what he feels is a standard distance for safety away from me, and he's climbing a little bit, or it could be an optical illusion, but I think he's climbing pretty good. So I'm gonna let him climb, and now he's cutting a little bit to the right, and he's gonna kind of try to switch back on me here. I'll kind of see what he does. I'm just gonna sit and wait. He's rolled inverted. Not sure what he's up to. Try and go for an angle here. Nope. I blacked out, but I pulled out of it. That was a dumb move. That was pretty slick on his part, if he did it intentionally. I got a lot more fuel on board than I normally do. Normally max I carry is 50% in a drop tank, so that was dumb of me. Won't happen again though. So wild kind of haymaker. You see where the bullets kind of sprayed. He was trying to guesstimate, but it's difficult to hit a target that's bouncing around like that. So that's a pretty standard deal there. Sometimes it heads in one stream and then a secondary stream. And sometimes it goes kind of in a cone, just where he's trying to get the rudder kicked around there to spray. So it happens one way or the other. A lot of times it's best just not to make that shot. You know, pick a point, shoot at that point, and if it's a messed up shot, then it's a messed up shot. But don't try to force it the rest of the way. So he's going to try it again, but I'm going to be ready for him. So I'm going to do a reduction in throttle. He's going to push the nose down, and I'm going to cut across his nose. And he messed up. But he didn't have an aircraft that pull out like mine. I got lucky in mine. So when you're coming in there, really what it comes down to is feel. You have to keep an eye on the enemy aircraft and see what his aircraft is doing when you start to engage a maneuver. If you see that suddenly you're gaining on him, the aircraft's getting bigger, then you need to reduce throttle. That's number one thing, just reduce throttle. Be ready for, if you have a high torque engine or if you had web on, be ready for the engine.
That was a bust.
Well, you actually made me black out in that first pull. I went in too fast and I made it out, but I blacked out as I come up out of that pull. I got lucky in the little 43
I was trying
made
to
it.
force it too.
Oh, when you were trying to make that shot there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're with the 43 or even the Brewster, and you're attempting to attack one, the biggest thing is be patient. You force the fight. You can leave whenever you want, and you can come back whenever you want. They don't have that option. So if you don't want to fight them anymore, you can leave. And if you want to, you can cut across them. And a lot of times they have to play very defensively, and they have to wait till you make a mistake to make a shot. So I see he's behind me, so I'm gonna arc up. I lost him.
One of
There
the
he is.
things I'm learning off your videos.
A notch of flaps, still full throttle.
Just
Flaps
getting
out.
it through my thick skull.
It takes time. I didn't get this good overnight. And I still have a lot to learn.
What frustrates me is I'm good in first-person shooters, most MMOs, you know, but this one really challenged me. And
Well-
when I first got into it, it was really funny. It was because when I bailed out and I saw this arm sticking out with a 45 in its hand, I said, boy, this is cheap graphics.
Yeah.
Then eventually I got hooked on it.
Well, that's kind of what I, like I said before with the videos, is it's just getting them in long enough to fly and get into a fight. If they can get into a fight, they're either hooked or they're not. Now, after that, there's no saving them if they're not hooked. But it's getting them in that first fight that really makes it.
Well, that's what happened to me.
But I tell you, the reason why it's so difficult is the player base here. I mean, you think about it, I am a young cat, and I've been in here for 5 or 6 years. There's dudes, the guys in my squadron have been playing flight sims for 20 plus years. And they don't play down here on the deck like I do. They play together, and they come through with speed. They don't let you get them unless they really mess up. And so for average cat just jumping in here, it's an Everest of a learning curve.
Well, one thing what I've noticed, is I used to play Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I used to enjoy playing that. And now I land better, I fly better. I even have the combat simulator that I get in there and I practice in.
Yeah, I used to play the old Microsoft Combat Flight Sim before.
This yak really moves, though.
Oh, it does. And it flaps really nice, too. Against other really fast aircraft. So he just couldn't pull that angle. It's almost impossible unless he slowed down enough. If he slowed down enough, then I'd be able to catch him as he moved around his corner. Reduction in throttle. Full reduction. Full increase. Get the nose flattened out here. We're just going to sprinkle him a little bit here in a second. I think he's going to go up.
Yeah, I sit there riding that stall horn, and if I pull just too much, I get into a spin.
Right here, he's in kill central. 134 left rudder, left rudder, left rudder, full left rudder. Now letting it out. Full speed, or wet rather. Zoom to see plane movements. Complete the roll.
Oh, I had a canopy shot.
Zooming out, and now.
Come in.
Oh, I know it must bug people when I have that Hurricane 1. I think that irks people more, getting shot down by the Hurricane 1. Just listen to all the pings than actually getting shot down.
Yeah.
So pull through this turn here, and right in here, right about where his name is at, that's where we want to make the deal. Now, as you pull through this turn, you want to actually be looking at the top of the canopy if you're not actually
one of
making
the
a shot.
things that I've been trying to learn how to do properly is a barrel roll. Not this,
Well,
but an actual barrel roll.
what you want to do is move your stick forward and back as you do the roll. As you roll to the left and you get on your back, you need to be pulling the stick kind of back. And then as you complete it, you're kind of pushing forward on it. Depending on the aircraft, some of them the nose will drop more, and some of them it'll raise more. It just depends on what you're flying. And you just counteract it. If the nose is falling, well, then you want to pull back. If the nose is raising, then you want to push forward. And then if you want to widen the roll, if you want to make it kind of like a half pipe where you're actually sliding out around the corners, then you just throw your rudder inputs in. See, he's going to come at me. Now what that was is full left rudder.
I don't know if I touched you.
You didn't. But it looks like you could have, which is the
That's what I
intent.
thought.
That was full left rudder with a complete reduction in throttle. And then
Well, you do the right things. You make it a hard target.
you try to get as close as you can to where they think you can make the shot, and then stay just outside their gun sight. Because they have two options. If they slow down enough to shoot you and they don't kill you, then you can probably get turned around and kill them. But if they're going fast enough to get away from you, then they probably can't make the shot. Above 300 miles an hour, I've never been hit by people coming straight at me that were going faster than probably 300 miles an hour. Just because they can't, they just do not have enough controls. And so he's going to try and pull me up against the side of this hill, so I'm going to hang out kind of high and come in there. Oh, now he snapped it. He lost it. Yeah. But with that snap roll, what I did was I went full left rudder and I held it and full reduction in throttle. This pulls the torque out, and then the aircraft just skids to a stop with the nose going to the right and the tail coming out left. And as you notice, it snap rolled, and I just went full right rudder and full power, and it just kind of skidded along. And you put the nose down a little bit where the airflow comes back over the wings again, and it just goes again. And the little 43 does that very, very well.